My salutations to everybody and welcome back to InCase 2 week special broadcast. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm Colin, here's Charlene, and as promised on this week's session we are having over a very distinguished guest indeed. And you guessed it, it's no other than John, aka Ziana.
Let us start with a brief introduction, shall we? So, John, can you tell us more about yourself?
What's up, guys? My name is John. Inspired by how my name in real life is pronounced, you might have already known me via my social media accounts as a cross-dresser, and I'm very glad to have the opportunity to join this podcast.
Alright, lovely. But without further ado, let us just dive right into today's episode, shall we? Right, so to start off, I would like you guys to have a look at this picture on the screen right here. Rings any bell?
As you can see, this is the Bui Vien Street, a favorite destination for tourists, especially foreigners.
That's right, it's the infamous Bui Viet walking street located in the heart of Saigon. Supposedly the city of nightlife and given the name No Sleep Street for a reason. Lights and music will be playing all night, but now soundless and lifeless, as I just shown you due to the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown recently.
On today's episode, we are going to take a look at the 2 week lockdown period in Ho Chi Minh City, as well as the impacts that it has on people's physical and mental life. But before that, let's provide you with a little context, John.
Right, so starting in the early hours of Friday, the 9th of July 2021, Ho Chi Minh City residents were mandated to stay at home for 2 weeks after 8,000 cases were recorded in the city during the latest virus wave. An estimated 9 million people has been ordered into lockdown as the commercial hub struggles to contain Vietnam's most serious COVID-19 outbreak so far. It's also worth mentioning that prior to this outbreak, which began in late April, fewer than 3,000 cases has been recorded in Vietnam. So I guess you can definitely understand the pressure that is mounting on the government at the moment. And while virus clusters has appeared up and down in the country, Ho Chi Minh City has emerged as the epicenter of the wave, thus necessitating the regarded lockdown.
And while it's not the first time that Ho Chi Minh City has gone into lockdown, it's by far the worst, hitting hard not just the underprivileged but also much more well-off households and businesses. For the first item, we are going to talk about some of the negative effects that this lockdown has on people's livelihoods and their physical life.
For the last 2 weeks, the mood on the street of Ho Chi Minh City has turned tense and anxious. Straight red and white ribbons crisscrossing the city, marking out off-limit spaces, as well as quarantine areas. As things stand, during the lockdown, income have no doubt diminished and for many evaporated. Ho Chi Minh City growing capitalist economy has faced similar setbacks to other places under lockdown. Tourist operators have been particularly hard hit with resorts, guest houses and many personal services unable to operate. Micro businesses that drive Ho Chi Minh City's service sector have almost certainly disappeared.
Yeah, like following the official issue of Directive 16, almost all of the mid to large businesses has already displayed signs informing customers of their closure due to the COVID-19 situation, with the exception of only several essential industries. And while this is worrying enough, the lockdown has particularly been playing havoc with the lives of informal workers and poor households, namely street vendors and freelancers, who are now risking it all, even if it means breaking the law just to make ends meet. Meanwhile, those still legally allowed to work are ever more anxious about their health. With a local shipper, quote, "Every day I have to meet a lot of people, and I don't know if they have COVID-19 or not. I just want to stay home and be safe, but my company does not allow shippers to take a break."
And in addition to this, following the closure of wet markets, including 2 wholesale ones, Binh Dien and Hoc Mon wholesale markets, which usually provide the city with food, Saigon residents can now only shop at designated supermarket chains. Rumors of shortage has led to long lines for perishables, with people with some places panic buying and queuing for hours on end. Some can't even afford groceries as prices are exorbitant. But we can assure you that this is not the case, as kind-hearted philanthropists and volunteers nationwide, as well as a number of humanitarian kitchens and social groups, are joining hands to offer poor households hundreds of free meals and produce, with the motto, "No one is left behind," and it's a truly heartwarming moment.
Yes, of course, but one must acknowledge the effects that this lockdown can have on people's mental health, which is also our second item. In Vietnamese, the expression literally go play is typically used to describe a wide range of entertaining activities. Anything from going to a coffee shop to eating out, or from going to the movies to simply taking a walk can fall within the scope of this expression. However, since mobility during lockdown was restricted, the house became the only option for social gatherings.
So, given the lockdown is home 24/7 for everybody, right?
Yep, that's it. The lockdown has affected the way people access, experience, and perform intimacy within their house. For those who are quarantining alone or with people whom they do not have physical contact, loneliness and social isolation are growing health concerns. For those who are under lockdown with their family, partner, or friends, lack of privacy and high risks of interpersonal tension can aggravate the sense of stuckness and anxiety.
And as a result, and this should be very easy to guess, technology has played a crucial role in keeping economic and educational activities functional. Remote working and distant learning temporarily turning the living room into an office and a classroom. At the same time, windows double as screens through which we leave reassuring messages for neighbor and passerbys, while balconies can become the stage for musical and flash mobs.
Well, to look at it another way, however, whereas privileged humanities has adequate space, services, and social safety nets to more easily comply with lockdown restrictions, in less affluent household, which usually include up to 3 generations under one roof, members had to cope with spatial constraints, including poor sanitary facilities and shared sleeping space. So that's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, it really is. But look on the bright side, the pandemic has undoubtedly acted as an accelerator of intimacies, allowing people to negotiate alternative forms of solidarity both within and outside the domestic space.
Alright then, I think we are going to end here. That is it for this week episode. Thank you guys for tuning in and I really hope you guys enjoy. Till next time, but for now, see ya.
See ya.